Now that was a good episode. Hello all, and welcome to Alyx's World, a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I am your host, Alyx, just Alyx, and this is your WWE Friday Night SmackDown review on a Saturday. Now, you'll have to forgive me for the lateness of this particular review. Also, forgive me that it's not live. I just got back home from my very first presidential rally. 30,000 strong here in Houston, Texas attended this rally. Big audience. They're calling it the most electrifying rally in American history. If I'm not mistaken, that might be the biggest crowd to ever appear at a rally. Hey, that's how we do it down here in Houston. Don't sleep on us. But look, the rally, I got there at 2:30. I left the house at 1:30. And the doors didn't open until 3 p.m. And I got home at 10:30. So I've been out of the house all day. The fact that I stayed awake to watch SmackDown goes to show you how great this show was. There is your proof that this show was great. My testament to why I thought this was one of their best episodes so far. And it hasn't been a great year for Friday Night SmackDown, at least post WrestleMania. The show has been, in my opinion, pretty lackluster. Not a lot of storylines. Cody Rhodes' title reign hasn't been all that interesting until recently. Now that Kevin Owens is a villain, he has turned heel, and they're building him up to be this, dare I say, monster figure. Triple H giving that warning to Randy Orton, hey, something's off with him. He's not all there. He's a different man, and I'm keeping him away from WWE, not to protect him, but to protect you and everybody else. Listen, when you give someone that warning, that basically means Kevin Owens is a serial killer, a psycho, a maniac. Because that's the kind of feeling that I'm getting, which is the kind of feeling I got from him when he was Kevin Steen in Ring of Honor. And if that's the direction we want to go in, 100% I'm with it. That is going to be very compelling TV, which is exactly what's been missing from Cody Rhodes' reign. And he's been champion for 200 days plus. Nothing against him. I think he's a great dude, and I keep saying that when it comes to Cody. I always say I think he's a great person. I think he has a good heart. We all know he loves wrestling, and he's all around exactly what the WWE needs as a head figure, as a quarterback, as the man leading the company into, dare I say, a new era. This boom period. He does it all. Good inside the ring, great on the microphone, good with media, has a look that appeals to a mass audience. The thing is, though, you can have all that, but if your booking isn't on point and you're not a compelling champion, it's not going to matter. And I don't think his title reign, as of now, because it's only been 200 days. I like that we're at that point now because Roman has held the belt for 3 years. 200 days isn't really all that important. It's only been 200 days. That's still a long time to be champion. Hasn't been all that great. But I think now, with Kevin Owens now coming into his role as a top heel, perhaps the top heel on SmackDown, yeah, I think it's going to make Cody's reign a tad bit more interesting. We also have The Rock coming back, so we're going to get Cody and Rock pretty soon, if we get that. Because now, with the way they're building Kevin, we might be seeing something different. We'll have to see where it goes, because I'm not writing for WWE. I'm not Triple H. I can just talk about what I see. But it's looking like they're building Kevin Owens up to be the one who dethrones Cody. And between you and me, that's how it needs to be. I know a lot of you want to see Randy Orton versus Cody Rhodes. Naturally speaking, so do I. We all speculate, that will be the WrestleMania championship match. But what if it's Kevin Owens and Cody? Did anyone think about that match being WrestleMania worthy, WrestleMania quality? Because I think it is. With the right storytelling, if we turn Kevin Owens into a Kevin Steen like character, where he's going around wrecking shop, hitting people with packaged pile drivers, don't sit there and say we can't have pile drivers. We saw one on SmackDown. Didn't Carmelo Hayes and Andrade do an actual pile driver? Or Mexican Destroyer, which is a pile driver? I mean, blunt force trauma, LA Knight's finisher, spikes your head on the mat. So that's technically a pile driver too. Look, nothing's stopping Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens from bringing back that move. And if it brings that back, that's going to launch him into that stratosphere as a main event player. And honestly, look, I've been waiting for Kevin to get back to that level since he won the Universal Championship in 2016. Yeah, it's been that long since he's been World Championship material. And I think under Triple H, I feel like this is going to be that run that sticks. That solidifies him as a top figure in the company. And I called it the anti-Stone Cold, or a dark reflection of Stone Cold. Someone that doesn't follow the rules, someone who's unhinged, someone that you can't regulate. He's just not bound by your rules. But see, Austin, when he was doing it against someone we hated. Vince McMahon was the evil boss. Triple H is the opposite of Vince. He's a boss that cares. He's a boss that wants peace. He's a boss that is actually leading the charge, steering the ship in the right direction. And Kevin wants to fuck all that up. So I like this is a dark reflection of Vince and McMahon. It's now become Triple H and Kevin's almost polar opposite rivalry here. And Kevin wants to take out Triple H's golden boy. So to me, that's a compelling story, and that honestly should be the WrestleMania match that we get. And even if we do Cody versus Rock at the Rumble, which is where I think it's going to happen, why does Rock need to beat Cody? Roman and Rock doesn't need the World Championship. It never did. So Cody can beat Rock with Roman interfering, and then do Cody and Kevin. And then Kevin can dethrone Cody. That's what I think should happen. And in the meantime, if you want to do Cody versus Roman at the Saturday night's main event, get that out the way. I'm cool with that. But yeah, we should really take our time with this. Really build Kevin Owens up as that monster that just runs through everybody. And tell a story where he's just unhinged and he can't be stopped. And Triple H is doing everything he can to keep Kevin away from Cody. And then Cody says, enough is enough. You gotta let me fight him. All right. And then Kevin gets to Cody and he rips that championship from him. Just like he ripped the NXT championship away from Sami Zayn. Kind of similar to how John Huber, Brody Lee, Luke Harper beat Cody in AEW. He just ripped it from him. Cody got no offense. Smashed Kevin Owens over. Just like they smashed the Motor City Machine Guns over. I love that they put the tag team titles on them. They didn't waste no time. They debuted last week. The very next week, they beat DIY and beat the Gorillas of Destiny. There ain't nobody realer than Gorilla, the Bloodline, to become the new tag team champs. Wasted no time. Smashed them over. Triple H knows what he's doing. He knows when to push people straight to the moon to smash them over, and he knows when to take time to build others. Kevin Owens is someone you take your time with. You let this simmer. You let this fester. And you show him becoming more and more psycho, more and more insane, to the point where he's the most dangerous thing that you could ever imagine. We can do blood now. We can go there with Kevin Steen, Kevin Owens, like we were getting in Ring of Honor. We can go there. Just tell the story right. And that's all I want. That's all I've been looking for. Compelling stories. People say I'm too hard on Cody. He's not a compelling champion. Hasn't been for a while. Can he be? Sure. Hopefully this feud will make him compelling, but if you're not all that interesting to me, I'm not going to say you're a great champion. Whether you like him or not, I can like a talent and still say they're just not doing it for me. Everyone likes Cody. Well, a majority of the wrestling fans like Cody, me included. That doesn't mean I'm going to sit here and say, I love everything that he does. No, I tell it like it is, and that's why you watch me. There's a lot we got to get into. I didn't talk about the women. I will. Candice LeRae is getting a lot of TV time, and I love it. Naomi is finally getting some spotlight. Homegirl was losing a lot since she came to WWE, and I was getting worried. I was sitting here like, are we just going to drop her out to everybody? No, they were taking their time to build some sympathy behind her, but now it's time that we push her as a figure to take seriously, because she's going up against Nia Jax. She's not beating her for the title. Probably should, because Naomi is amazing. But clearly this is just someone for Nia Jax to beat before we get to Tiffany Stratton taking that belt off of her. Again, I'm perfectly fine with Tiffany Stratton being the one to dethrone Nia Jax. I guess my thing with Tiffany Stratton being that person is we don't really know, and we probably won't know, if she works as a babyface until it happens. We'll have to see. We'll have to see how things turn out. I'm thinking that things are going to be just fine with her. But who knows? We won't know until the moment takes place, and then you give her the run. And if we do the run and we realize, yeah, she's not that great as a babyface champion, they can just turn her heel. Screw it. She's young. We'll see what happens. You're not gonna know if this is something that will eventually work out until you do it. Tiffany is a interesting talent from the standpoint of, she's great inside the ring. She's excellent inside the ring. She surpasses a lot of women who've been doing this longer than her. She's a naturally gifted in-ring competitor. Her weakness is her character work. Her weakness is her microphone work. And that's not something I'm all that shocked by, because this is someone who literally started doing this, in 2021, 2022? She just got here. And we're giving her 2-3 years to pick it up, and now she's swimming with the sharks. She is literally on the main roster, about to be the top women's champion on one of their top shows. That's a lot for her. And I don't know if she's all the way prepared to handle that. But she better get ready, because it feels like she's going to be women's champion. So she better bring it, because if she doesn't, she will fall to the wayside very quickly. Especially knowing that Charlotte Flair is on her way back. And when Charlotte Flair comes back, guess what time it is? Woo! You know who's getting that championship. Sorry, you know how this works. I keep telling y'all, if you thought Vince McMahon loved Charlotte Flair, you ain't seen nothing yet. Cause Triple H loves her just as much, if not even more. So if you were sick of Charlotte Flair before, you're gonna get even more sick of her. Let's go ahead and review this show. Thank you guys for watching. As always, if this is the first time you're watching me, do me a solid favor. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Wow, your edit, help expand the brand by doing the following things. Join the membership, click that join button, and get the opportunity to request a video of your choosing, whether it's a live reaction, hot topic, or a review past, present, or future. Also, don't forget to give thanks. Hit that super thanks. If you would like to donate after the fact, you can. Also, like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitter at just Alyx Central. Give me a follow on Instagram, give me a follow on Spotify, give me a follow on Cameo, give me a follow on Threads, follow us on Discord, and give me a follow on TikTok. For I am the tickest of the talkists. Donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, VENMO, and yes, Super Chats are officially on. You can donate at any point in time during the broadcast to get your thoughts played live on the air. Email me at justalyxsworld@gmail.com for business inquiries, just to say hi. And as always, get yourself a t-shirt today at Pro Wrestling Tees and Teespring. Are you a Just Alyx guy? Then join the club. Get you an I'm a Just Alyx guy t-shirt hot off the press. Get you an old school Deluxe Man t-shirt. Get you a new school Alyx's World t-shirt. And many, many, many more t-shirt designs coming your way. So help join the cause and expand the brand right here in Alyx's World. Thank you to the lovely people over at Mint Mobile Country for, of course, being partners with me on this very special video that you are getting a day late. But we still got it. As always, Mint Mobile is here to offer you sweet, sweet deals on a very high quality mobile plan. Most of you, if not all of you, pay an arm and a leg for your mobile plans. And you do it for a reason. 5G network, high quality, unlimited text, unlimited calls. Some of you have unlimited data. That stuff's not cheap. What if I told you you can have all that and it'd be cheap? And when I say cheap, I'm talking, let me carry the $5. Oh, $15 a month. I'm not lying. All of that. $15 a month, high quality, great service, 5G network. Mint Mobile wants to give you all that. And what sets them apart is that they make their prices affordable so you can go on living your life. Now, if that's something you want, then let's get a quick word from our partners, and then we'll get to the SmackDown review. This video is partnered by Mint Mobile. Like many of you, I've been trying to cut back on expenses lately, but let's be real. It's tough when you got things to do and you don't want to give them up. But sometimes you have to make those sacrifices to pay your phone bill and satisfy the big tech companies. That was until I discovered Mint Mobile. Mint Mobile offers premium wireless services starting as low as $15 a month. With Mint Mobile, you can get high-speed data plus unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. The best part? You get to keep your phone and even the phone number. Now, if you do want to purchase your own phone, they do have phones available on the website, which you can get through the link. The internet service is reliably fast. It's so seamless, I put it up there with any other network on the market. Now, some of you might think switching to a new service is a hassle. Let me reassure you, this is only going to take you 15 minutes to set up. You could literally do it right now from your phone. No need to leave your house or contact anybody. And if your device does not support eSIM, then Mint Mobile will personally ship you a physical SIM card. So if you're like me and you want to save a little bit of money without sacrificing anything, use the link trymintmobile.com/justalyx and start your wireless plan today as low as $15 a month. Don't lose out on this opportunity. Start saving money by switching to Mint Mobile today. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching this lovely review, and thank you for making me a part of this lovely day. You could be anywhere here on YouTube, but you chose me, and I'm always grateful that you chose to make me a part of your lovely day. I'm not going to go in order. I kind of want to paint around the bushes here. You know, we have a canvas. I kind of want to just do my thing when it comes to this version of SmackDown, because again, I'm tired. I don't want to do play-by-play. I like being able to just come up here and just talk about it. But this was a great episode. A lot happened. Great crowd, by the way. Brooklyn. They showed out, sold out the building. Anytime you go in that area, every time any wrestling promotion, even AEW, goes into Brooklyn, you're always going to have a hot crowd. It never fails. Some of my favorite NXT shows were those NXT Brooklyn shows. And tonight's crowd would be a great example of why that was. Great crowds elevate a good show to a great show, sometimes an awesome show. And this was a good show that was elevated to a great show because of the crowd. So, I love that they opened up with Randy Orton immediately making a beeline to Triple H. Didn't waste any time. He didn't waste any time. He said, look, I want Kevin Owens. You're going to give him to me. And Triple H, see, here's one thing about Triple H that I love in terms of his ability to know how to put people over and to make them feel important. One of my biggest issues with Kevin Owens for the longest time is that he didn't feel like a threat. He just felt like everybody else, just a regular guy on the roster. We loved him. We had respect for him. He has a story with Sami Zayn and, of course, his checkered past, being one of Triple H's lapdogs, Universal Champion. winning championships here and there too. I think he's a Grand Slam champ, right? He's won all the belts. It feels like he has. I think he's won IC. He's won US. He's won the Universal. He's won Tag Team. Of course, NXT. Yeah, if he wins the WWE Championship, he literally would have won every belt possible. So I hope he does dethrone Cody, but we're getting ahead of ourselves. I never felt Kevin was a threat. He didn't feel like that monster that he was in Ring of Honor, and I've been waiting for that. He had that feeling in NXT. Prize fighter, guy that was clearly off his rocker, that wasn't all there, and you sense that on NXT. I don't think I had that feeling with him. And it's ridiculous because he beat John Cena in his debut match. His debut match here on the main roster, 2015, he beat John Cena. That's a huge way to debut him. And I don't think, me personally, it doesn't feel like they've done a great job of maintaining that momentum. Of course they didn't, because Kevin was working under Vince McMahon. Well, now he's working under Triple H, and you can tell Triple H wants to make him out to be, dare I say, the next Brock Lesnar, or a Brock Lesnar figure. And I love that they kept him off TV. And they said, Triple H said, he's doing it not to protect Kevin Owens, but to protect the roster. In this case, he told Randy Orton, because they go out to the ring. Of course, Randy Orton invites Triple H out and demands a match against Kevin Owens. And he tells him, I am protecting you from Kevin Owens. He's not all there. This guy's different. For some reason, a man like Kevin Owens, who saw wrestling as a business, like Triple H did when he was, of course, champion, he tells everybody, I'm here to step on you, and I'm going to make you my bitch. Not because of, of me making it personal, but because it's a business. And Kevin Owens had that same mindset. Well, he let his guard down. Kevin Owens actually became friends, wanted to be friends with Randy Orton and Cody. And when they broke his heart, when he felt they betrayed him, and to be honest with you, they did. The moment Cody tag teamed with Roman Reigns, when Cody, of course, the same guy who feuded with Roman, who went on this long, I had to finish my story journey. That guy that was a tyrant, that was an absolute dick to Cody for years, for a long time period, especially that build up to WrestleMania 40. All of a sudden, Cody turns around and he likes him. He's partnering with him. Yeah, I would definitely hate the son of a bitch too. I feel like Kevin Owens is very justified in the way he feels. But Triple H says that broke him. He wasn't always there to begin with. This did something to him deep down inside and turned him into a monster that, for your sake, for everybody's sake, I can't let come back. And then he brings up the fact that Randy Orton was gone for 18 months because of a lower back injury where they had to stick rods in him so he can be able to walk and operate. They stuck rods in Randy Orton's lower back. That's how messed up he is. That's... Remember, Randy Orton was not going to come back. They told him, you might not be able to wrestle again. So I'm happy that they're mentioning that and they're playing that into the story. I'm very excited to see what happens. I think with the way they're building up Kevin as this, like I said, dark reflection of Stone Cold Steve Austin, he's going to be someone that just comes in and wrecks shop. They're basically doing, they're doing Austin McMahon again, but this time flipped. Now the head figure is the babyface, and the one coming in wreaking havoc is the heel. And if that's the case, I think Kevin should beat, and when I say beat, he should massacre Randy Orton at their next match, which I think is Crown Jewel. Shocked me. Thought that was going to be Survivor Series. I swore to God that they were going to get this to Survivor Series, and that would have been great. But they're doing it next week. All right. Kevin needs to run through him. Kevin needs to obliterate Randy Orton and establish himself as a legit villain, a legit heel. And then maybe we can do Kevin versus Cody at Survivor Series, or Dare I say we hold that off until WrestleMania? Maybe Kevin wins the Royal Rumble. But it does feel like we're going to go right into Kevin and Cody. What I would do, if the plan is to eventually get that belt on Kevin, man, their next match, which will be their second match, something needs to happen to really, I don't know exactly what that is. You probably have to be a little creative, more creative than I am apparently right now because I'm tired. But something has to happen that lets us know, all right, this is going to be a long-term feud. Because right now, Cody needs that. And yes, we know that Cody's going to be involved with The Rock very soon. And we might be doing Rock and Cody around WrestleMania season. I see it happening at the Royal Rumble. But still, you need something for him afterwards. And I think Kevin Owens is that storyline to go with. I know people are saying Randy Orton and Cody. They could always do that too. Not against it. I think it's more compelling if you do Kevin and Cody. Especially if we do a dark reflection of Vince and Austin with Triple H and Kevin. But I love that Triple H came out and warned Randy Orton about how dangerous this man is. Because now it's like, all right, this is a different Kevin Owens. I hope he comes back with a new look, a new feel, and he debuts, finally brings back the package pile driver. And what a way to put it over by beating Randy Orton with it. Man, I hope they do it. Will they? I don't know. I'm not saying they can't. I mean, the very next match, Andrade, Carmelo Hayes with L.A. Knight, yeah, as the special guest referee, we saw a pile driver. Mexican Destroyer, but a pile driver. Why not? Why can't Kevin do a pile driver? Speaking of the United States Championship, it looks like that's going to be a triple threat match at Crown Jewel, because the 7th match, Game 7, between, the reason why I do quotes is because there wasn't really a match, it was more of an angle, but between Andrade and Carmelo Hayes, basically ended in a no contest because LA Knight got sick of their shit. They both tried to attack him inadvertently. But then, LA Knight attacked them both, and then there was no finish. And I get it. You need to have some opponents for LA Knight, and these two are great opponents for him. I think Carmelo and Andrade deserve to have an actual finale, an actual final 7th match. And I hope they get it. I want them to have at least one of their matches on a pay-per-view. Because they deserve it. And it should be at Survivor Series. You know what? It better be at Survivor Series. Their final match to cap off their, best of 7 series. And even though it's not a best of 7, they never said it was best of 7. It's a best of 7 series. It really is. Their final match should be on pay-per-view. And I hope they book it for Survivor Series. Seriously. They deserve that. That's my only issue with this. I'm not mad that they're doing a triple threat match for the United States Championship. I know LA Knight's going to retain. I just want Andrade and Carmelo Hayes to get their, rightfully so, get their spotlight because of how great this has been. So I'm begging that they actually do get a final Game 7 match to determine who's the best of those two. And they do it at Survivor Series. That's all I'm saying. Do whatever you want with LA Knight and all that. That's great. But seriously, can we get an actual finale for this feud at Survivor Series? It'd be nice. Cody Rhodes came out to talk about this Crown Jewel Championship that I'm sorry, I do not give a fuck about. GUNTHER came to SmackDown to talk about their match and how it's for the championship. Then they go back and forth about what it means to them. I blanked out. I didn't care because I don't care about this match. I should, but I don't. It's over a title that means nothing. It's only important to the Prince of Saudi Arabia because he's giving WWE millions, so they're going to do whatever they can to please him and kiss his ass and tell him, you're so great. But I will give some credit to Cody and GUNTHER for trying to make people care about this. I just don't. By the way, I think they're taping next week's SmackDown because they're going to be overseas. it is what it is. I'm fine with that. I'm probably not going to be reviewing it anyways, because if it's a tape show, probably not a lot happened. But tell you what, I'll tell you this though. The moment we get past Saudi Arabia, I can see this show picking up really fast. It's already pretty great. I think it's going to be even better once we get past this hurdle that is Crown Jewel, Saudi Arabia. Although they're stacking the hell out of this card. I gotta give them some props for that. Naomi took on Candice LeRae at the request of Nia Jax. Candice LeRae is starting to win over the Queen, Miss Queen of the Ring. And I like it. I like that Candice is getting finally getting some spotlight. She pinned Bayley last week, and they're making that a big deal, as they should, because pinning Bayley does mean something. It actually makes Bayley feel important as well. But her going up against Naomi, and you can see they're really trying to give Naomi some actual credibility, making fans get behind her. You can see Naomi's more motivated now that she's getting a push. Didn't really feel like that for a while. Kind of felt like she was going through the motions, but now it feels like, all right, this is the Naomi I've been waiting to see again. She did beat Candice as a result of Bayley coming out to help her, because Andy Hartwell tried to interfere, and Bayley said, nah. So, giving more momentum to Naomi, because she's going to fight Nia Jax for the championship eventually. I don't see her beating Nia Jax. That's going to be Tiffany Stratton's job. But who knows? We might throw that out the window and do something different. Anything's possible, right? I'm trying to think if there was anything else that I had to cover before we get to like the meat of this review, which is the final 30 minutes, which involved DIY versus, of course, Motor City Machine Guns, which then led it to the Bloodline defending those tag team titles, and then the Usos reuniting, which I have some thoughts on. I'm not going to sit here and tell you I hated it, because it was nice to see them get back together. It was a nice moment. I just kind of feel like maybe, and again, I'm not going to sit here and say that you had to agree. Was it a bit too fast? Just something I want you guys to sit on. I could be wrong. You can 100% look at me like I'm crazy, because, I mean, Jay beat Jimmy at WrestleMania, so that should basically make whatever issue they have null and void, right? I don't know. I just feel like, you know what, just getting into it, because I don't see anything else here on the docket. It says Nick Aldis and Alan Pierce have the women's tag division together to inform Bianca Belair and Jay Cargill will be defending their tag team titles in the Fatal 4-Way against Metaphor, Damage Control, and Chelsea Green, and Piper Niven at Crown Jewel. Oh my goodness. Fatal 4-Way for that women's tag team titles? Oh, jeez, that's a lot of people. Yeah, it doesn't really feel like anything else happened, so let's get right to it. DIY versus MCMG. First off, pay-per-view match. Quality match. This was awesome. I'm hoping we get another one. Please don't make this the only time they fight. I would do it again. Literally at Survivor Series. Maybe even do it again at Crown Jewel. Screw it. Who cares? Well, they just won the title, so they're probably going to wait until Survivor Series. Do it again at Survivor Series. This was a great match. Awesome. They worked so well with each other. It was so fluid. And the fast pace. You know, when AEW was at its peak, it was known for its tag team division. This felt like a match that would have been on one of their shows. This was fantastic. You can tell everything about the tag team division in WWE now, even on Raw, just feels new. It feels like there's an actual concerted effort to give us great tag team wrestling, tag teams, an in-depth division to make these championships, these tag team championships matter, not just with the men, but also with the women. And I appreciate that, because we don't see that a lot. We haven't seen that a lot in WWE. So this match really impressed me. Thought it was awesome. Did not expect to see the Bloodline come out right afterwards. So, of course, MCMG win. Right after that, here comes Solo Sikoa, the Timu tribal chief with the Timu bloodline. He comes out and then he makes it known, hey, you should fight our guys with these tag team titles if you're man enough, because they just had a match, so they want to pick the bones, right? And MCMG said, yeah, let's do it. Nick Aldis makes it official. And of course, the Gorillas of Destiny, ain't nobody realer than Gorilla, get the advantage because they're already weak. Then Jimmy Uso comes out in a hoodie and a mask, gets some offense on Solo. Well, get some offense on Solo and Jacob Fatu, but doesn't last very long. They start whipping his ass. Roman Reigns comes out, big pop. They run off Solo and Jacob, leaving the Gorillas by themselves. And then Jey Uso showed up, looking like his bro Jimmy. Love the hood, love the mask. Yeeting all night. Brooklyn was yeeting. And then, to the shock of everybody, including me, Jey Uso helps MCMG beat the Bloodline and become tag team champions on their second night in WWE. Smashed them over. Triple H did not hesitate. He threw those belts on them. Great. One of the best tag teams, period. I remember when MCMG first debuted in TNA. They've been the best tag team since then. Of course, they've had their on and off periods where they stopped being tag teams because, Alex Shelley and, of course, Chris Sabin were going to be TNA World Champions at one point. So they split up, got back together, split up, got back together, and that happened more times than not. But anytime they're together, it's hard to argue they're not the best tag team in the world. The only tag team that could compete against them is FTR. Now imagine that match. MCMG against FTR. Ooh, oh my goodness. We're not going to be seeing that for a while, if ever. But yeah, I'm happy they threw those belts on them. That was the right call to make, and I think it's going to elevate the tag team division. Tag teams are back in WWE, so now they get to go off and help revamp the entire division under their wing. The matches are going to be fire. Again, think about it. DIY, Street Profits, who I think are turning heel. They should. It would freshen things up. You got the Usos back together. That would be a great match to see. Holy shit. And I can't think of any more right now. I don't want to talk about Pretty Deadly because, I don't want to talk about Austin and Grayson. There are some tag teams that should be split up. Austin and Grayson's one of them. But, we can always move some people up from NXT. But, yeah, I'm excited. Very excited to see what they do with this SmackDown tag team division. They're going to have to move some teams over from Raw because SmackDown is going through hours soon. So we'll see how things shape up around WrestleMania season. But the main story, of course, is the Bloodline storyline. Jimmy comes out after Jay shows up. They embrace inside the ring. The Usos have reunited, and we see Roman Reigns on stage. So let me just get to it. I think this is a bit too soon. I think we have to consider the fact Jimmy screwed Jay so many times over the last year or so. I mean, he screwed him at SummerSlam last year. Screwed him out of the world title, screwed him out of the U.S. title, screwed him over because he was tag team champs with Cody, helped him lose the tag team belts. And then we get to WrestleMania. Around WrestleMania time, he kept coming in and making his life a living hell. They wrestled at WrestleMania. Match wasn't great. People were saying it was one of the worst matches in WrestleMania history. I didn't think it was that bad. I thought it was pretty solid. It just didn't live up to the hype that it got. Because we thought this was going to be, brother versus brother, here we go. This is going to be amazing. It didn't live up to it. So when Jay beat Jimmy, that was one of those things where I went, is this over? Because I would have thought Jimmy would have won the first match, and then we keep doing it, and then perhaps give them like a blow-off match where Jay gets the best of them, and then we talk about them getting back together. But they just had one match, and then Jimmy gets attacked by Solo. Like, literally the following week after WrestleMania, he got attacked. And then we don't see him until SummerSlam. Look, not even SummerSlam. Bad Blood, excuse me. We don't see him until Bad Blood. Regardless, I get it. It is one of those things where, absence makes the heart grow fonder. He did get attacked. We didn't really see him change, but we could assume he did because of what happened with Solo. So he comes in, he starts respecting Roman. That's all great, but I feel like the issues between Jay and Jimmy, they were deep enough to where them just coming back and doing this feels kind of too soon. They still have some things that they could have worked out, but it doesn't matter now because they're back together. I will say this. I would rather Jimmy and Jay get back together, not Jay and Roman. If they make Roman and Jay get back together, that's going to piss me off. Because they shouldn't work out at all. The latest that Jay should forgive Roman, to me, is the earliest, matter of fact, should be WrestleMania. If Roman ends up beating Rock, which I think he is, at WrestleMania, that's when Jay should forgive him. Or at least think about forgiving him. I don't think Roman and Jay should get back together or be cool with each other anytime this year. I'll be very pissed off if they rush that. Although this feels rushed, the stuff between Jimmy and Jay, I can let this go. I can let this go because, like I said, the feud's over with. Jay beat Jimmy. And Jimmy got attacked. It was 6 months ago. This year, sure. But, that's a while. Like, in real time, you can understand why Jimmy would turn a corner with that. You can understand. And maybe there's some room to tell that story where, all right, when I beat Jimmy, he reached out to me. Or when Jimmy got taken out by Solo, he reached out to me, or I reached out to him to see if he's okay because that's blood. That's my twin brother. And then they could talk about how, yeah, you know what? We worked that out. Again, I wish I would have saw it. If they do that storyline, if they tell that story, I would then have the issue of, well, you could have shown us that. And then this would be fine. But it's easy to let go because they're twin brothers. Just don't rush Roman and Jay. Don't rush Roman and Jay. Let that one play out. And I think you'll get much more compelling television from that. So, again, great episode. I'll even say awesome episode of SmackDown because of the crowd, of course. I gotta get past Crown Jewel. Once we get past Crown Jewel, the things that I think are really cooking are going to start cooking even more. Although Crown Jewel is looking stacked. It's looking like a stacked card with Seth Rollins and Bronson Reed. You now got Kevin and Randy. Got this fatal 4-way women's tag match. Jesus Christ. Yeah, Cody and Gunther, which is... And I guess one more match. The triple threat match for the United States Championship. Jesus Christ, that is a stat card. That's a very stat card, the more I think about it. The only thing I don't care about is that main event. I don't care about Gunther and Cody. Although the match will be good. I'm expecting that to be a good to great match. I just don't care about that Crown Jewel Championship bullshit. I just don't. But on paper, that does feel like a strong, very strong card. That's probably going to be something that I could sit through and watch and happily review, which we will do. I don't think the review will be a regular live. It will just be maybe a vertical live instead. You know what? Yeah. I think I'll make that a vertical live. Because it is Crown Jewel. And it is happening earlier on today. Because for me, the show will start at 12 p.m. Yeah. Let's do a vertical live. And then regular lives will happen for Survivor Series and the Saturday night's main event that I feel like is going to be built up as a pay-per-view. So, yeah, that's what we'll do. But regardless, thank you guys for watching. I'm very sure you all enjoyed this episode, so let me know how you feel about it down below in the comments. And let me get out of here. I appreciate you for making me a part of your day. As always, do all the YouTube things. Like the video, subscribe, and click that bell to catch all my content when it comes out. Follow me on social media, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and donate using PayPal, Patreon, Cashapp, with them. I love you all. I'll catch you guys next time right here in Alyx's world. The place it is, was, and forever will be a safe space for wrestling fans like you. I'm out of here. Peace.